bound for Budapest. Containing coal, scrap metal, consumer products, and timber, there was one that worried him greatly. It was loaded with drums of MIC, methyl isocyanate, to be used in Hungary in the manufacture of rubber. The driver, a round, balding man in a well-worn cap and stained overalls, had been briefed at length about this deadly chemical by his supervisor and some idiot from the Serbian Safety and Railway and Transportation Oversight Ministry. Some years ago, this substance had killed 8,000 people in Bhopal, India, within a few days of the leak from the manufacturing plant there. He'd acknowledged the danger his cargo presented, but a veteran railway man and union member, he'd asked, what does that mean for the journey to Budapest, specifically? The boss and the bureaucrat regarded each other with the eyes of officialdom, and after a pause settled for, just be very careful. The lights of Novi Sad, Serbia's second largest city, began to coalesce in the distance, and ahead in the encroaching evening, the Danube appeared as a pale stripe. In history and in music, the river was celebrated. In reality, it was brown, undramatic, and home to barges and tankers, not candle-lit vessels filled with lovers and Viennese orchestras, or not here at least. Still, it was the Danube, an icon of Balkan pride, and the railwayman's chest always swelled as he took his train over the bridge. His river. He peered through the speckled windscreen and inspected the track before him in the headlight of a General Electric diesel. Nothing to be concerned about. There were 8 notch positions on the throttle, number 1 being the lowest. He was presently at 5, and he eased back to 3 to slow the train as it entered a series of turns. The 4,000 horsepower engine grew softer as it cut back the voltage to the traction motors. As the cars entered the straight section to the bridge, the driver shifted up to much 5 again, and then 6. The engine pulsed louder, grew faster, and there came a series of sharp clangs from behind. The sound was, the driver knew, simply the couplings between wagons that were testing of the change in speed, a minor cacophony he'd heard 1,000 times in his journey. But his imagination told him the noise was the metal containers of the deadly chemical in car number 3 jostling against each other at risk of spewing forth. Nonsense, he told himself, and concentrated on keeping the speed steady. Then, for no reason at all, except that it made him feel better, he tugged at the air horn. Chapter 2. Lying at the top of the hill, surrounded by obscuring grass, a man of serious face and hunter's demeanor heard the wail of a hawk in the distance, miles away. A glance told him that the sound had come from the train approaching from the south. It would arrive here in 10 or 15 minutes. He wondered how it might affect the precarious operation that was about to unfold. Shifting position slightly, he studied the diesel locomotive and the lengthy string of wagons behind it through his night vision monocular. Judging that the train was of no consequence to himself and his plans, James Bond turned the scope back to the restaurant of the Spa and Hotel, and once again regarded